do it.
Hey everyone! Welcome to another episode of The Other Side of the Struggle. Today, guys, I've got another fantastic friend and coach and guest speaker on our podcast today. This is Cytel Shults. She's been a friend of mine of mostly through Facebook, but hey, Facebook friends, we get to know each other and we get to like hang out in each other's energies. And I've just loved what Cytel is about. And I'm like trying super hard to not call you Cytel because it's really Cytel.
Oh
So
my gosh, you wouldn't be alone in that. That is like the main pronunciation that I get for my name all the time.
hey, I get it. I get it. I'm Aaron. That should be a simple one, but I can't tell you how many people like think I'm a guy because of
What?
my name. Yeah, yeah. And I'm
It's
like, I don't.
so different.
I know it's totally spelled different. It actually has just a little bit of a different pronunciation too. And even then, I still like, especially telemarketers. They're the worst. They're like, Mr. Aaron Anderson. I'm like, do I sound like a guy? Like, you know?
Yes, yes,
But
how can I help you?
yeah, you guys can know. Yeah, I know, right? Let me get down here and like, let me sound like a frog. Anyway. Okay, so you guys, my listeners are probably gonna be like, you guys are totally nuts. Just so you know, we're gonna have a lot of fun on today's conversation.
Oh,
Um, but Seidel, she is a vocal intuitive, which is really cool. Actually don't know a lot of my friends that have that gift. Truly. Like, I love to sing, I love to use my voice, but I don't know very many people that are vocally intuitive. So that's cool. Number one. I know, right? Let's like dance to this.
let's dance
And
about
I know, right? Get it into our body and have at it. Okay. And then the other thing about Seidel is she's also an astrologer, and which is also really cool. And so like I love I love this explanation of like, hey, how let's have the stars align with your voice. Like, what a better way to like open up our conversation about the power of our creative tool, the voice. You know? Like, listeners, if you are one of my clients, or even if you're not, you've probably heard me talk about like the no holds barred creative tools that God has given us. And one of those things is our mind, as we've talked about last week. But one of them is also our voice, because right now, like, I want you guys to put your hand over your throat, and as you're listening or as you're speaking, you can just maybe even hum a little bit. You can hear and feel the vibrations happening. And the coolest thing is God works a lot on vibrational energy. So Seidel, like, I want to hear your thoughts around that. Like, it's so cool to see, like, this beautiful gift of the voice given to us and the power that's behind it.
I just, I have like a million things that I could say, and I super love that you had people like touch their voice box, like where their voice like vibrates the strongest on your neck, like really
Mhm.
do that. And I say, oh my gosh, and sing a lot of different things, like sing from as low as you can go and feel it vibrate in your chest, and then
Mhm.
sing up the scale and feel it move, like you can actually feel the vibration of your voice move through your body. So one of the things that I so love this topic, obviously, because I'm a vocal intuitive, but one of the things I super love about creating with our voice is this is exactly how God created. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light, and it was good, right? And
Mhm.
so He like totally created with our voice, and we can do the same thing. And part of that, and it's not just saying the words, because I could be like, "I have $1 million. I have $1 million, and I still don't have $1 million," right?
Mhm.
The difference is how we feel about it and the
Mhm.
energy that we put into our voice. Not that I'm suggesting that we go around and be like, I have $1 million, shouting it because that could not be in alignment with you. It's in alignment with me because of like my natal chart and astrology. So if we like take the two together, the stars were perfectly aligned when you were born. And so your natal chart really shows you how you can use your voice the most powerfully. How amazing is that?
That is so amazing. I guess that's something I've, because like I love astrology, don't get me wrong. Like in the like honestly, like in the summer in the spring, well not obviously right now in this spring in Utah because it's still like the winter's seventh win like Utah's seventh winter and stuff like that happening right now. But you know, when it's warm, I love going outside in the night and like looking at the stars and seeing Jupiter up there and Saturn and like actually getting out my sky map and like, you know, what's that one? You know, kind of a thing. Like I love looking at the stars and seeing if I can find Orion's belt and all these things. So I love the stars, but it's not like something I've really looked into as far as you know, your natal chart. So explain the natal chart to our listeners.
Yeah, so the natal chart, I think everybody's pretty familiar with like your sun sign,
Mhm.
and that's where the sun was sitting when you were born. Well, all the other planets, they have a place that they were sitting as well. And so your moon sign is going to, like, your moon is going to be sitting in a specific sign. Mercury is going to be sitting in a specific sign. Jupiter is going to be sitting in a specific sign. And all these things, like, really can help you understand and discover more about yourself and more about your voice. So I really look at astrology and people's natal charts through the sounds of their voice. And your sun sign, like typically you're like all these personality things about your sun, right?
Mhm.
But as I view your sun sign, I see this is where in your life your voice naturally shines. And when you can like connect with where your voice naturally shines, guess what happens? That leaks over to the other areas because once you see evidence, I know you know this, like once
Mhm.
you see evidence that something exists, then you can manifest that in other areas of your life. And
Mhm.
so, like seeing where your voice shines. But your moon sign actually holds the vibration of your voice.
Ooh, that's interesting. See, like
Right.
I'm learning so much about this kind of stuff because you know, obviously, like I'm definitely an intuitive. I can I would even say maybe a little bit of a vocal intuitive because I can kind of hear what my clients say, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, this is actually what's going on. This is what's going on. This is what's underlying, and all these kinds of things. But you're actually bringing up a lot of things to me because number one, um, the reason, like, I'll be honest, the reason I know about these creative tools is because the Lord one day was just like, Aaron, let's sit you down. We're gonna have a conversation. I'm gonna talk to you about these things, and I'm like, holy cow, like that's actually the coolest thing ever. And so let me tell you guys, my listeners, I totally love energy work. I love um you know, the idea of astrology. I love the ideas of, you know, what Cytel is saying. See that? I almost did it again. But I love these things because here's the whole preface behind this. God created everything in the heavens and earth for your benefit.
Holla, holla.
Yes. He created everything for you, for your benefit.
Everything.
And
Yeah.
so what could be more special to for his beautiful child that just is a newborn coming into this world than to celebrate your birth in the heavens? Okay? Why wouldn't he do that?
Yes,
Yes?
exactly. Exactly. Like he just loves you so much. He loves you so much. Everything is such a celebration of our life. He like men are that they might have joy,
Joy.
right?
Exactly.
And of course he was like, Seidel's going to the earth right now. Like, let's get the stars ready for, or whatever. Aaron's
Yeah.
coming to the earth. Let's get the stars ready for, Hello. It's so good. So I just like I want to say one of the things about our moon sound. So it's like the base of our vibration, right?
Hmm.
Our voice was literally designed, like you can look at the natal chart. It's like the blueprint for your voice. It was literally designed to help support you share your mission and your message. And what is part of that? Manifestation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And okay, so listeners, let me tell you why this is so freaking huge for you. Because my listeners are people that have dealt with betrayal, okay? Some intense betrayal trauma. And I know, like, for me, when I was going through betrayal trauma, I could still sing. I love to sing, right? And I do that actually very well. I've been asked to sing at a Bravenel Hall for crying out loud in Salt Lake City. So I'm not unfortunate in voice. But I didn't realize how much trauma silenced me.
Yeah,
I did not understand that. And guys, let me tell you something. If there is one thing that the adversary wants to take away from you, well, there's actually a few things that the adversary wants to take away from you, but he wants to take away your mind and he wants to take away your voice. He wants to take away your ability to do things with your hands, hence the reason why he would love to possess your body. He wants to take away your energy, like your heart, your feelings, your emotions. He wants to totally shut them down. Why, guys? It's because through this betrayal trauma, it stops the creator. And if he can stop you as a creator, he can stop you being a god right now, this very minute, because technically that is exactly what you are. You're still just learning how to do it. And number three, then he has no freaking reason to be scared of you. All right. So now that we have unfolded that and why the voice is so important to you, Seidel, let's maybe help these guys open up a little bit and talk to them about how they can start readdressing with their astrological signs and open up that voice to just literally step into creator. Let's do that.
let's do it, baby. Okay.
Let's do it.
So one of the things that we can do to help us step into our voice, I love that you talked about feelings. Like this is one of the things Satan wants to take from us, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
our heart and our desires. And one of the best things that we can do to step into our voice is to step into our feelings, to step into our heart. Our moon sign is where our like the sun sign is like the conscious self, right? And it's what we really connect with, which is why I think they talk about our sun sign so frequently in astrology and all of those other things. Like that's one of the reasons why it's so well known, our sun sign is. Our moon sign is our subconscious self. And if you think about it, right? Because that's when the moon comes up, is at night when we're sleeping, when we're connected to the subconscious part of our mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? Um, so it represents our subconscious self. It also represents our inner world. And where is our inner world?
In our
It's in our
heart.
heart. It's in our heart.
Yes.
And it's so vulnerable. It is so vulnerable to be in our heart space, especially when we've experienced trauma. Um, totally speaking personally from this, but this is the space where when we practice with ourselves, that we can really get connected to our heart and get connected to our voice is in the space where we're like, you know what am I feeling right now in this moment? And it doesn't always have to be sad. You'd be like, I feel so happy. And saying that and feeling it in our body, like you were saying at the beginning, like touch your voice box and be like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel happy and feel it resonating here. Put your hand on your chest and be like, I feel so happy. Whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and to try it at different pitches and really feeling that and what feels good and how does it feel good to you to when you say that, like feeling not just in your heart, but in your body. Can you feel your voice, experience your voice in your body? And when we really start
Yes.
connecting with our emotions, then it helps us really connect to our authentic sound. And when we're connected with
Yes.
our authentic sound, that's when we can speak. I'm like hearing so many songs as we're talking this morning. So like, what's that song? Speak life, speak life. You know that song?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
No, I
like
don't actually, but I like it already.
it's so good. It's like speak life, speak
Speak
life,
it.
speak into the darkest parts. Like this is what he's talking about. But that's when we can like more effectively, like literally speak life into our lives. Is when
Yes.
we're connected to our authentic sound. Does it make you want to like jump up and down?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. Well, let me tell you something, okay? I can't tell you how many times like my vibration has like totally just been going, like when I speak truth. Okay, so listeners, what she's saying here is like so key and so yummy. Okay, because when we're in deep betrayal, one of the first things I do for my clients is I look at, okay, so what's behind the betrayal? And we start pulling out these lies. We pull them out because what happens with deep betrayal is we often speak the lies. And the
Mhm.
reason why it feels so gunky and so gross is because it is in direct, oh, what's the word I'm looking for, Seidel?
Opposition.
Thank you. Yes, it's in direct opposition to not just the Lord, but who we are personally, like who we were created to be. My listeners, God saw your glow, your intelligence first, and He created out of that intelligence this ball of light, you. Okay,
I love
so let that sink in for just a second. That's exactly
that.
what He did. And so when you're speaking lies, it dulls the light inside of you. It is in direct opposition to who you are. However, when you speak truth, it literally starts to create a deep, beautiful, light centered vibration inside of you. And those of you, like, if you are wondering what I'm talking about right now, I want you guys to literally speak this with like some gut centered confidence. I am a child of God. I am a child of God.
Oh, I love that.
And let that start to vibrate inside of you. Where does that land in your body? For me, it's right in my gut. And my gut is the center of my intuition. I listen to my gut a lot. When I don't, man, do I ever regret it. Ever regret it. And so the thing is, my listeners, I have been speaking truth for 10 years, helping people heal their trauma. And when you testify of the healing power of Christ's atonement, as much as I do, because that's exactly what his gospel is all about,
Mhm.
is healing. It's a gospel of healing. So when you do that as much as I do, you start to realize these vibrational energies start to align, and you start to stand up, and you start to shine, and you start to grow this intelligence, and you start to become who you really are. And isn't that cool that when you bring this up to the subconscious, not the sub, like from the stuff from the subconscious up to the conscious mind, that you start to glow brighter, and you're sitting here talking about the sun being the symbol of our conscious mind.
Your face.
Like,
Yeah.
what? Like,
Yeah.
let's just, let's just uncover like how cool God is. Like let's just do that. And it all starts with the voice.
I know that
You know?
I've said for many years, our eyes may be the window to our soul, but our voice is the door.
Yes.
And you like, you're just like, I think I might have like some vocal intuitive. I think everybody has some vocal intuitive. Like you
Mhm.
can hear if you're on the phone with someone and they're sad and you're paying any attention at all, you can hear that. It's
Yeah.
just how tuned in are we to it? Like, how tight is our dial to what's happening with our voice? How tuned in to the dial are we to what's happening in other people's voices? Because like the sound of our voice is literally the manifestation of our soul being our heart, our mind, our spirit, and our body. Like if something's happening in your body, you better believe you're going to hear it in your voice.
Yes.
You're
Absolutely.
tired, you're going to hear that in your voice, right? You know it. You're laughing because you
It's
don't
so
sleep.
true.
You know it. It gets all like crackly, and you're like, oh,
I sound a little, not just sound, I act and sound very drunk when I'm tired. My
that
family, my family laughs at me so hard. They know when I'm totally done in because I'm like, like
yes, it comes because
so.
it comes out your voice and your thoughts.
Yes.
They come out your voice. I mean, obviously your thoughts too, because your words are,
Right.
part of your thoughts, and your feelings come out like with
Mhm.
like you'd be like, you look so cute today, or you look cute today. That sound totally different.
Yeah, a little bit. And then, but this is also, I gotta say, why a lot of people like like text and messages and things like
Yes.
that get so misconstrued because the voice is not behind it,
So they're
And
reading it
so,
with their own voice. They're putting their own inflection in.
mm,
They're like, "What was that supposed to mean?" And I'm like, "It was a compliment."
I know. You look nice today, or you look good, look nice
You look
today.
nice
Yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah.
My son's famous for going, "I'm sorry."
I
I'm like, "Wait,
that that
that
that
doesn't sound like you're sorry."
that reminds me of do you ever watch Studio C?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Do you remember um that skit that they did where Jason Gray is like the attorney and they're like, "Oh, he's so good." The only problem is he finishes everything with a question.
Yes.
And he ended up losing the case because of that. And like
Of course you did.
the judge like jumps on him at it was so funny. I love that one.
I have
So
to look
yeah.
that up.
This is so good. It was so funny. Anyway, off on my little squirrel track, my listeners. If you like totally go look up Studio C if you guys want to laugh today and look up the courthouse.
I'm doing it. I'm putting it. 'Cause I don't think I've seen that one. I'm putting
Oh,
it in right now.
it's so funny, especially where you're a vocal intuitive. You're gonna laugh so hard when you hear this. Like, let me coach this guy.
The courthouse.
Okay, but listeners, let me tell you something, okay? One of the things I want you guys to start doing is I want you to start paying attention to the things that are coming out of your voice. Because as you talk and you like get a get your phones out for a minute and click record on your recording software, whatever it is. And I want you just to sit there and talk for a while about your trauma and what you feel and what you think about yourself for a while. Okay? Like 5 minutes. Do it for 5 minutes. And then I want you to go type it down. I want you to go write it out. After you do that, I want you to go look through things and say, would God want me to believe that? Would God want me to believe that? Would God want me to believe that? Okay? This is an easy action step you guys can take. And it is going to take a little bit of time, but trust me when I say that if you guys really, really want to heal from betrayal trauma, not just cope with it, that's not what I teach. I'm talking actual action steps to healing your trauma. Do this. Take some time and go do this. And if you come up with something that says, I don't think I'm lovable, I don't feel like I'm lovable, well, obviously that's not the case. Cytel and I have been talking about God literally rearranging the stars for you when you were born, for crying out loud. That's not something that someone does, like this all powerful God for a peon piece of whatever. Like, he doesn't do that because that's not who you are. You are, in every sense, his child. So let's start finding the ways and start finding the pieces that are out of alignment with that belief that you are truly loved by the most powerful being in the universe.
I love this exercise so much. I just want to share an experience if I can really quickly.
Yeah,
Um,
please.
I remember sitting on the couch. This was shortly after I had experienced some like intense things for several years, and we were just coming out of it. And I was sitting on the couch crying, and I don't remember what I was crying specifically about, um, but I remember feeling Jesus come into the room, and he sat down on the couch next to me, and I was like, "Oh, good, Jesus is here. It's all going to be better. It's going to get better. I'm going to stop crying." And the most incredible thing happened. He said, "I'm not here to do that right now." And I was like, "What? Like, that's what you do. You make me feel better." And his response was, "I'm just going to sit and cry with you today." And it was the most incredible experience I think I've ever had with Jesus.
I'm gonna
And
cry.
we
Oh my
just
god.
sat, yeah.
Whew.
We just sat on the couch, and I could feel him crying with me. And I was crying, and there was just so much love. And it gave me, in that moment, it really gave me permission to be in my feelings, and to just be in my feelings and be in my feelings with him. And that no
Mm.
matter how I felt, he was going to be there with me. And then walk me through the next part, but I couldn't skip feeling the things that I was feeling in that moment.
Yeah. I've had similar experiences, hence the reason why I'm sitting here crying, right? Because sometimes the thing that can help you feel the most seen and the most loved is just having somebody
Mhm.
walking the emotion with you.
Yep.
It's not talking you out of the emotion. It's not um, trying to make you feel wrong or bad for feeling or experiencing what it is you're feeling and experiencing, but more or less just allowing you to be where you're at and
Yes.
not allowing you to feel shame. Christ cried with you. That's not a shameful action. That's not something that's going to make you feel ashamed for where you're at,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
What
Yep.
a beautiful thing. And like, how wise is he to know these things? How
Yeah. So
wise.
I'm saying, like, when you do this, when you do your voice recording, when you sit down and you do your writing, let them be with you. Let Heavenly Father, I have a really big dog. Let Heavenly
Bye,
great
Mom.
Dane. She's a little old. You see all the gray in her face.
It's all good.
So, like, when you're doing this writing, invite them to be with you. Invite Heavenly Father and Heavenly Mother. Invite Jesus to be there with you and just hold you in those feelings and witness those feelings with you. And then ask, and what's the truth? And how do you see me? Can you show me a different way? And
Right.
that just is, it's a tender place. So when you let them be a part of your tenderness, at your lowest low, then you'll let them be there when you are in your highest of highs.
Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. So, so, so true. And those of you that have listened to my story know that I had that. I call it my Enos struggle with the Lord, where when I finally realized like how very broken I felt, I screamed and cursed and just yelled at the Lord like in all kinds of anger for hours. Seidel. Hours. But you know what? That was where I really came to know him.
Yeah.
Is in that moment. He never shamed me for that. And matter of fact, he just picked me up off the floor, this blubbering, snotty mess, you know, and just gathered me into his arms and just loved me. And it was one of the most soothing, most beautiful moments in my life.
Mhm.
But I had to literally scream everything out. I had been denying myself and my voice the truth for so long that it finally just had to spill out. It finally had to come out at some point.
Gosh, I love the way you said that. Like, I so I think that there are a couple of different kinds of truth. The truth of what we're experiencing right now and the capital T truth. Like, and that is the never changing truth. And sometimes I think more often than not, we have to acknowledge the truth of what we're experiencing right now and the
Mm-hmm.
truth of what we're feeling, the truth of what we're thinking before we can truly experience the truth of what we are. Like, I can't get from I am the hottest woman in the world without like addressing. Can I just say that?
I'm
I
good. I'll say it with you. I'm the hottest
okay.
woman in the world, right? I'll do it.
I can't get to like believing that unless I see the truth of where I'm currently at with it.
Yes.
Like, what am
Yes.
I currently feeling about my hotness? What am I currently feeling about thoughts? And what am I currently thinking? Thoughts about myself? I can't think that I'm the most amazing person in the world and skip over where I'm at. Like, where
Yes.
we're at really gives us an indication of how to get to where we're going. And it's all a part of the voice. It's all a part of experiencing ourselves, creating the world that we want to be, like creating our world that we want to be a part of. We have to be like, I feel like poop right now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm having really bad thoughts about myself, and I'm just going to admit that I am thinking really bad thoughts. And I have no judgment about that. And I'm just
Yes.
to say it so then I can get to the place where I'd be like, okay, Honey Father, I feel really crappy right now. Is that true? Am I crappy? Can you show me now that I see what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling? Can you show me how to get over here? Because I really want to feel like the most amazing woman in the world.
Yeah.
I'm on top of the world.
I'm on top of the world. I like that one. So, what she's saying here to my listeners, you don't build a bridge from the middle to the sides out because that would just be silly.
I don't know how you would
Right?
do that.
I have no idea how you would do that either. It would take some sort of woohoo magical powers, right? No, you have to start at one side and then build your way to the other side. Okay? And that's why I call this the other side of the struggle. It's not going to the middle and then to the ends. No, it's to the other side of the struggle. You build a bridge. And you do that by acknowledging where you are. And like she said, without judgment.
Solid.
Guys, that's huge. We are so oftentimes we create so much extra trauma for ourselves because we have these negative thoughts that we buy into truth as truth, and then we judge ourselves so incredibly harshly. And oh my loves, that is not what the Lord wants for you. It is totally not. To feel true joy, you need to, number one, allow yourself to feel where you're at, but
Mhm.
without judgment. Consider how Christ came in for Seidel here, and also how he came into my life. It was without judgment. Good grief. he could have judged me.
Mm-hmm.
I cursed him like, oh, I swear at him. I did everything you're not supposed to do. Okay?
I'm not.
Everything.
That is not. It's
And
yes.
and there was no judgment. He completely understood why I was acting the way I was. It's because I was hurting so bad. And he just gathered me up. There's no judgment from him. So why do
Mhm.
we feel like we have to be so harsh on ourselves? The harshness does not come from God, it comes from the adversary.
Mhm.
The judgment doesn't come from us, it comes from the adversary. When we are so busy judging ourselves, we cannot hear truth and we cannot speak truth in turn. So, back to that exercise, my loves. If you're going to go in and do this, which please, please, please do, if you're looking to heal your trauma, do that exercise I was talking about earlier, where you record your voice and you write down, like transcribe it, write down, ask yourself, is this what God would want me to believe? Is this what God would want me to believe? And if you come across a no, he would not want me to believe this, flip it for the opposite. Flip it for the opposite. What is true? What does he really want you to believe? And then speak that. So it's a whole different ballgame when you're sitting there saying, I don't feel like I'm lovable. When you flip that to, God loved me so much that he literally arranged the stars in the heaven for me when I was born. He loves me so much that he gave his only begotten son on the cross so that way I would not have to experience every bit of justice for my mistakes. He already paid for that. He loved me so much to allow me to be human and to make mistakes. Hello? Do you know what you just did there? You literally took that lie and you slapped the adversary over and 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 over again with it. And this, my loves, is how you bind the adversary, is with your voice. And isn't that cool that God has given us that power? And it also makes sense now why he would want to silence it.
Mhm.
Not God, the adversary. He wants to silence your voice because then he's got you right where he wants you.
Oh my gosh. I just looked up the lyrics for Speak Life. So
Hmm.
it's by Toby Mac. It's like so perfect. So this is the first part of the song. I freaking love music so
Oh
much
yeah.
because music like it's a vibration, right? And it's a vibration that speaks to our whole soul. The music does like heart, mind, spirit, body, like because the vibration will literally, music changes your
Hmm.
moods, right? So this is it. This I'm just gonna read like the first little part. It says, "Some days life feels perfect. Other days it just ain't working. The good, the bad, the right, the wrong, and everything in between. Yo, it's crazy amazing. We can turn our heart through the words we say. Mountains crumble with every syllable. Hope can live or die, so speak life to the deadest, darkest night. Speak life when the sun won't shine and you don't know why. Look into the eyes of the brokenhearted. Watch them come alive as soon as you speak hope. You speak love, you speak life." And it's like we can speak these things out loud to ourselves. You're like, you're talking about flipping that, like flip the statement and then say the statement out loud and
Hmm.
turn on a song that helps you feel that statement so that you can get into that space where you're like, all right, I'm amazing. I'm amazing.
I'm going to say this, and I know we've got just a few more minutes, but what a great thing to do. And one of the things that I love to do, and one of my gifts and my talents, is to actually write music. And so a lot of you listeners might not know this, but my opening role and my end role is actually a song that I wrote. It is. Okay? And it's called Becoming One. And it's the song that came out of my heart after I realized I had healed from betrayal trauma. And it goes, becoming one with you. And it talks about like how I have gone from this broken, battered heart, shattered of like into a million pieces. And now that I'm seeing the truth, I'm becoming one with Christ.
Mhm.
Um, and it's a beautiful, beautiful song, you know, and it's amazing that our voices were also meant to praise God. So if you guys are wanting to shift your vibration at all into a vibration of healing, get your voice praising God. Realize that Christ himself spoke his truth. He said things like, there is none greater in this room than me. In this room is one greater than the temple. In this room is one greater than Moses. In this room is one greater than Noah, Elijah, all of these fantastic prophets, because he is the literal Son of God. But my loves, you are also his son and daughter. So when we stand up and actually speak our truth and say things like, I'm a fantastic human, I am a fantastic human, adversary, you have no part with me. When you speak these things, my loves, you are speaking hope, you are speaking light, you're speaking joy right into your soul. And now all of a sudden you are becoming your best friend. I love what Seidel is saying here, and I love how she's shown up for our audience today. Do you have any parting thoughts? And especially also let us know where our audience can find you.
Oh my gosh, yes. My parting thought is first, I love you. And your voice is so amazing. And you are so amazing. And my desire is for you to feel your voice and to experience the powerful impact that your voice has on your life in the most incredible ways. So I would totally say, do the exercise, as Maui would say from, Moana.
Moana, yes.
Like, you're just,
Amazing.
you're so
Yes.
amazing. He was like, I'm so amazing. He's like, Maui's so amazing. Like, you're
Yes.
so amazing. Like, let that be something that you're saying to yourself. So awesome. You're so amazing. You're so intelligent. Whatever that phrase is, like, see that in your writing, flip it, and then sit with it and
Yeah.
say it for days and ask God to show you how it's true because He will show you how it's true. Okay, how to hang out with me.
Yeah,
You
let's
can, how can you hang out with me? I have a Facebook group, Sing Your Soul with Cytel Shults. If you look at Sing Your Soul, you'll find it that way. My website is www.singyoursoul.net. You can find it. I'm doing free things all the time. So come hang out. Let's have fun.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm gonna go actually. I don't think I'm part of that group. I will be today.
Yes, girl. Yes.
I've only been your friend for a while and I haven't been part of your group yet. So
Oh,
we will shift that. We will shape that,
come
change it.
party with us.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So go find Seidel at Sing Your Soul, and I think she also has a website, singyoursoul.com, correct?
.net.
.net. Go hang out with Seidel. Come hang out with me, my loves. Let's get you into that beautiful creative goddess that you truly, truly are, and let's start using your voice as that beautiful tool it's meant to be. All right, Seidel, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. And we will see you guys next week, my loves. Bye.